in the months ahead. But to a person in this room, as I look over your faces, every single one stamped in the image of God, I know we share the same deeply held desire. We want to be sure that our time on this earth, our experiences with one another, and our very lives, we want to know that they matter, that we will be remembered. We wonder then, what shall we do with the time we are afforded, and what will become of the relationships we create? Now, as this day of Yom Kippur begins to breathe its last, we come together for the final time during this High Holy Day season. We gather for Yizkor, for memorial, and we ask of ourselves, how do we wish to be remembered? It won't surprise any of you, I'm sure, to learn that a study of patience in the final stages of their lives has been conducted many times, and each time the story has revealed, the survey has revealed the same regret shared by every one of these patients. To a person, each regretted the long hours they had spent doing some task that in the moment seemed precious and important, but in hindsight meant they were busy at the office or with an activity or immersed in some distraction, instead of being home for dinner, attending a child or a grandchild's performance, placing an overdue call to a family member or loved one or friend who needed to hear from you that day. Each person regretted the time they had spent doing something that in the moment seemed really important, but had the effect of giving them an excuse to sharing time with those they loved, with their closest friends and family, to create and build memories that would outlast them. Now, to be sure, work is important and necessary, and so are pleasurable pursuits and hobbies, and everyone is entitled to downtime or me time. And for some, it is in these realms that the mark they leave will be most impactfully made. But too often we confuse the grammar. We do not work in order to live. Let us live in order to work. Rather, forgive me, we work in order to live. We do not live in order to work. At the end of our days, and how appropriate we should speak of this on Yom Kippur evening as it begins to draw to a close, we face a similar dilemma. Do we spend another half hour or evening or day, indeed another minute, occupied or preoccupied with who knows what? Perhaps scrolling on our phones or staring into a screen, seeking escape or solace in order to secure a legacy or a reputation or to close another deal? Or do we prioritize the people with whom we live? Do we prioritize the opportunity we have to share time with a loving companion? To go for a walk with a partner or parent, a spouse, a lover, a friend, a sibling, a child, or a stranger, a new friend we've not yet met? Do we initiate a conversation, tune into the person in front of us? Do we look and listen to those who are with us in real time? Do we take the opportunity to go visit the one who is in the hospital or alone at the residence? Do we make time to make a new friend, extend our hand to the poor? Do we reach out to others so as to ease their burden? Do we share ourselves with this community in a way that will make our impress known? Make our impress known not to the bottom line, but to the person on the other end of the line and to those who will follow us down the line. Harvard Business School professor, the late Clayton Christensen, in his book, How Will You Measure Your Life?, explains that in life as in business, we each have limited resources, limited time, limited energy, limited talent, and limited wealth. And therefore, with every moment of our time, with every decision about how we spend our energy, our talent, our wealth, how we spend ourselves, we are making a statement about what we really most value. We are teaching those around us what is important to us, and we are making explicit that for which we will likely be remembered. A story. It is of the Israeli author Shmuel Yosef Agnon, better known as Shai Agnon, who was Israel's only Nobel laureate in literature, I believe maybe the only Nobel laureate in Israel. He won the Nobel Prize for Literature in 1966. He was 78 at the time. And when the news arrived that Shai Agnon had been awarded the Nobel in Literature, nearly all of Israel's journalists and photographers went to his home to interview and to photograph him. One photographer asked the new laureate if he would sit at his desk, pose with a pen in hand, pretending to write something significant. Agnon obliged, and as the camera snapped his photo, he dutifully scribbled some words on a piece of paper. After the crowds had left, someone looked at the piece of paper abandoned on the desk to see what the laureate had written. It contained some words from the Yom Kippur liturgy, significantly. Adom yesodo me'afar v'sofar le'afar v'chulei. Man's origin is dust, and dust is his end, v'chulei, etc. The word v'chulei in Hebrew means etc., and it is key to understanding what Agnon had written. For it makes clear that Agnon was aware at the end of the line the words that would follow. Here's the entire text. Man's origin is dust, and dust is his end, and his life is a struggle for daily bread. Our lives are like a fragile potsherd, like grass that withers. Katzitz novel is the Hebrew. Katzitz novel, like a flower that fades. But you must understand that Shai Agnon was well known for his puns and his wordplay. And with the word v'chulei, etc., he was acknowledging the last part of the verse, which suggests that life is fragile and precious and that nothing lasts forever. Katzitz novel, like a flower that fades. But katzitz novel can also be translated to mean including the Nobel Prize. Here was Shai Agnon's finest hour, recognized on the world stage for his life's work, his moment of greatest glory and adulation. And of what did the occasion remind him? Mortality, the impermanence of life's signature accomplishments. All life ends in dust. All reward and glory is momentary. Katzitz novel, like a flower, and like the Nobel Prize itself. Agnon understood what you and I understand at this hour. Our lives are no more about what we gain in guilt or glory than you or I are mere bodies, taking up space as we while away the years. Not really. As beings who have been created b'tselem Elohim in the divine image, we are fashioned from primordial matter that is then blessed to be given the opportunity to realize sacred tasks above all others, to live our lives in such a way that we reflect, indeed such that we radiate b'tselem Elohim, the image of the divine in which we have each been cast. And how do we radiate this essence, this inner quality? Yes, of course, with our handiwork and our daily toil, but also and most especially in the hearts of those we touch for blessing, in the human connections we create, and the potential for good we encourage and engender among one another, and in the moments we find in fashion to fix the world, to improve the experience of those around us by improving the lives of others. For it will be in this way that we shall reveal who we are and how we shall ensure and secure our remembrance. Our memories then are at once a product of the time we invest in experiences and in relationships and the quality of those commitments, in the values and customs and traditions and opinions, ideas and encouragements and the love we express and share with each other. Our lives shall be remembered by the values we transmit, one generation to the next. It is in the passing on of our essence and in the ideals that we share with each other that we offer the next generation that life gains its meaning. And it is herein that we create memories that will be remembered beyond us for blessing. We shall be remembered for how we lived our lives, how we lived with others, whether we lived for others, and if we were true to ourselves in keeping with our most sacred obligations, to make our lives a blessing, so that others with us and through us and after us might likewise be blessed. Zecher Sadikim Livracha. May each of us and all those whose memories we cherish be remembered as living and loving benedictions among all those we love long into the future, every minute of our lives. Amen.
Amen.